Hi everybody, welcome to, I think it's episode 14 of Sweet Skein of Mine. My name's Amanda and I'm coming to you from Fredericton, New Brunswick. This is a podcast just kind of about my journey in knitting and dyeing yarn. So I haven't done this in a long time. And first of all, I was sitting out on my deck today. It's a beautiful fall day. It's Sunday. And I thought I'd try this outside. I have like a highway almost in my backyard. So hopefully the sound quality isn't awful, and because I don't know if I would redo this. I've been out of the podcasting mojo for a couple of months now. Not for any reason, just it was a busy, good summer. Busy with dyeing. I worked a lot. My son's baseball schedule. So yeah, but I was like, I've got to do this because I have so much to show. And actually, like, you should see the mess pile in front of me right now, but I am definitely going to show you everything, but I'll watch the time, and if the time gets too much, I'll maybe do it in 2 different podcasts. So anyway, so welcome back, any subscribers, and if this is your first time watching, this is just more or less my keeping track of my knitting and sharing it, and I've met some wonderful people in this community. And speaking of, Nancy, it was so nice to meet you finally. I had an Instagram friend and a yarn customer. So if you've watched this before, the little mini socks that was knit for me as a gift, Nancy from Moncton, we finally met up. She was in Fredericton and we went and had coffee, and it was kind of nice to finally connect, hey? And we talked and talked for ages, and then we had to part. But anyway, so yeah, just by doing this kind of thing and dyeing yarn, that's been a real bonus. So anyway, I will get started to talk about what I've knit. So I guess clearly, first of all, I'm going to talk about this. For anybody that's in the knitting world, you've seen this sweater, and it has been knit by many, many people. It is the Tecumseh by Caitlin Hunter, Boylan Knits. And when I first saw the sweater, like with everybody knitting it, honestly, I didn't have to immediately knit it. But the more I kept seeing it and looking at it, I really loved it. So I spent a couple of days on Ravelry trying to figure out some colorways. I love the original one. This is black and white, but her original one was like a cream base with charcoal gray and like mustardy crosses. And I almost did that, but then I was like, no, I think I'm going to mix it up and dye my own yarn up and see how it works. Anyway, I love it. I'm in love with this sweater. I am in love with the knit. This is my first true real colorway project, and it went really well, and I'm even like quite proud of my floats. So I'll just show you the sweater really quickly and then tell you about the colorway and the mods. So I love it. It's in DK, and I'll proudly show my floats. I feel like they were pretty good. So like I said, it's DK weight yarn, so it flew. It's a sweater, but I have never knit something so quickly before in my life. So this brownie caramelly kind of color is Whiskey in a Jar. The crosses are Clouds in My Coffee, and the feathers are Heavy Metal. So I don't really have much for DK in my shop, but I'm getting there, and a lot of friends and family get DK and worsted weight from me. But I'm going to start dyeing up more and definitely putting it in my shop in the near future. So my mods were pretty much, one thing I didn't do, you bring it in, like you start to knit 2 together before you do the rib cuff. And I didn't do that. I just kept it straight and kept trying it on, and I like things 3/4 length. I don't like full length sweaters all the time. So just to kind of make it different, I did the 3/4 length. And I definitely did the length of the sweater longer than called for in the pattern and a little longer in the cuff. Excuse me, I have had this cold for like a week now, so if I'm sniffling and coughing, excuse me. My drink of the day is water. So, yeah. I also, funny enough about this sweater, if you watch Legacy Fiber Arts or Sandy by the Lakeside, everybody made this kind of mistake where you're doing wrap and turns on the back of the neck just so that it doesn't pucker. I don't think you can really see it. But what all three of those ladies did is, as they got knitting, it was ending up over on their shoulder. So after watching Sue and Chelsea talk about this mistake that they made, I looked at my knitting. I was doing the exact same thing. And then I watched Sandy by the Lakeside, her new podcast, and she did it as well. So many people haven't, but there's definitely something in that pattern that we're reading. We all read it the same. So I was able to quickly catch it and move my markers over, like just kind of went up the seam of the back where the wrap and turns were, moved the markers over, so I kept knitting, and before you divided, like for the sleeves, I was able to catch that mistake. But oh my gosh, that would be so disheartening if I had just kept going. So I guess, yeah, anyway, watching podcasts is one of those things you can learn a lot, but also catch your own mistakes. So anyway, I love this knit. I recommend it. I'm actually going to knit it again, but I thought I would do it again without any color work, just because I love the sweater. And I loved knitting DK. It was, it flew. And this yarn, I mean, I don't know, like I've said before, I don't know the etiquette of talking about your own yarn, but this yarn that I bring in and dye is so soft. It's a super wash. And anyway, I love it. And I'm happy that fall's here. I'm one of those people that I do not love the heat. I used to. I think it's a sign of my age, but I don't like the heat anymore. I like fall weather, but I love sweaters, and I love cozy, and I love boots and all that fun stuff. So I'm very happy to be able to wear this today. So this is one of my finished objects. I did a lot of knitting this summer, a ton. So I have a few more to show you. So if you're thinking about doing this, highly recommend it. It was not difficult at all. Watch yourself with how you read the pattern for the back of the neck. But that's it, yeah. So my second finished object is another Caitlin Hunter. I'm obsessed with her patterns right now. I also jumped on the Tanya bandwagon. Kelly from Lockbriar Knits was doing it, and it totally inspired me to do it. So it's this short sleeve kind of, it billows out a bit, and a ton of lace work at the bottom. I loved this knit. So I did it in one of my colorways. I did it in burlesque, and it's like a creamy kind of, I don't know, it's not natural base. I did dye the base, and it's got like cranberry speckles and purple speckles. So this was another one that I found it went very quickly. So this is the large, and sorry, this is the size large as well. This has got a lot of positive ease, just how I like my clothes. So this is the same. I did a large in this. And all this beautiful lace work at the bottom. You had to really pay attention. This was not a mindless knit until you got going. So if it's showing up properly on the camera, you'll see the lace part was kind of darker. I did a big batch of burlesque, and one of the skeins, when I was washing it, it had like a chunk of dye that never set, so it stained the whole skein like a pinky color. So I didn't want to waste it, so what I did is decided to use it up in this sweater. So I used up the mistake skein, and then I kind of switched strands with a regular skein and incorporated it in here, and then just used the regular yarn up here. So it gave this a really subtle ombre effect. But this is sweet, and how a lot of people are wearing this is over like a sleeveless linen dress, and it looks so pretty. So I found a sleeveless linen dress up at Winners this summer, and it's navy. It's going to be so pretty as an outfit. So another finished object. Something else I completed that I talked about on a podcast was how when Dan was out west, he went to River City Yarns, where they carry the hat trick yarn, and he had grabbed himself the Edmonton Oilers colorway. It's all dyed in Canada by Ancient Arts. So they have a whole wall of hockey yarn, and it's all color inspired by all the different NHL teams. So Daniel got himself Edmonton Oilers hat, and what he had asked me to knit him up was a really snug hat, something that he could fold over and have like a rim on it to keep his ears extra warm. So I found this hat pattern online, Ravelry. It's a free pattern. It's called Eric's Hat. I did it, and I had it ready for him for his birthday. He was super surprised because he didn't even think I was working on it. But here it is. So if you look at it, my kids were hysterical. They were like, "That's gonna fit him." But it's that kind of a hat. It's super, super snug. So it's got a ton of give, and this was one of the most boring things I've ever knit in my life. Oh my gosh. Because look, it's something like 12 inches. What was it? Yeah, 12 inches of just 3x3 ribbing. So I did not sit down and knit away at this. This was like, I picked away at it until it was crunch time for his birthday on August the 20th. And anyway, it made it worth all the while when he opened it though, because he was so surprised. So it just looks like this big tube. It knits up pretty cool though. So it's called Eric's Hat. If you needed a really boring knit, this is it. It's cool though, and he loves it, and it's nice and tight. It's got a nice brim for his ears, so I did complete that, and this skein was huge. Like, look how much yarn I still have left. So I'll find something to do with it, and if anybody's a huge Edmonton Oilers fan, message me. I'll send this to you if you want it, because I have no use for this. So got that finished. Okay, you guys are gonna think I have absolutely zero life, because I have so much to show you. I finally also finished the easy one. I finished this like early summer though. And I finally just blocked it yesterday. So the easy one, it's by Joji Locatelli, another pattern I loved. Here's another picture of it. And it's just an easy sweater. It's just a pullover sweater with drop shoulders. And there it is. So I did this in Brooklyn Tweed Loft in the colorway Truffle Hunt. I had gotten this at Espastrico. I love this rustic yarn. Absolutely love it. It is by far one of my favorites. So before I show you the sweater, I want to be able to show you the colorway, and I really hope it's showing. But yeah, I guess you can see like the little navy blue flecks here and there. It's a fingering weight. Anyway, another success. It's I did a size large, and my modifications were I made it a little shorter, and again did a 3/4 length sleeve. So my plan would be just to wear this with jeans and like a long sleeve white shirt underneath it. But yeah, this was easy. So she makes this pattern in a fingering weight option, or a worsted weight. So I'm going to do it again in the worsted weight as well. So great staple, just a nice plain sweater, and it was super easy. I love it. So I have lots of new sweaters for this fall. Okay, one more finished object. I'd mentioned before that I was going to do this, or maybe I had started it on my last podcast, I can't really remember. Isabel Kramer, A Girl's Best Friend. I don't know if it's showing up very well. It's a shawl, and I did it all in my colorways. And here it is. It's a nice size. I didn't do the pom-poms. I thought about it, and I may still, but I've decided not to keep it. My mom fell in love with this, so it's hers. Mama, this is for you. I told her she could have it as soon as I was finished podcasting. The colorway is rose gold, chalkboard, and pollen and love. And I really didn't mind this knit. I will say I'll never do it again. This was a lot of knitting, like a ton of work. I mean, I enjoyed knitting it. I never for a minute wanted to put it down and stop it. But if you look at like these little beehivey things and then the baubles, that was a ton of knitting. And it was also another pattern that it wasn't mindless. You really had to watch yourself. So I enjoyed it. I do recommend it, but I wouldn't knit it again because it was just so much work. And I'm getting away from shawl knitting a little bit. I say that, but no, a little bit. I'm obsessed with sweater patterns right now, and I'm definitely on a Boyland knits bender. But this is beautiful. It's huge. I should put it on just to show you. Yeah, it's nice. It is pretty, but it's for my mom. There, Mom will love it. She already knows she's getting it. She asked. I said I wasn't gonna keep it and I was gonna give it away. She's like, oh, I love it. So there, that's it for finished objects. I am a knitting nerd, clearly. I got a ton done this summer. It was so nice to be able to put in so much knitting time. But now it's crunch time for Christmas knitting. So I do have some whips to show you as well. How am I doing for time? Okay, we're 18 minutes in. Yep, I'm gonna keep going. My whips, I do have show notes because I had so much to show you. So let's see where I am. Sheltered in, I did it. I have a bag problem. I know, no one has to like point that out. I'm very clearly obsessed with project bags. There's my little fox that Michelle got me, and I had to put my favorite enamel pin on this one. I love her. So this is the Knitter's Backpack by oh my gosh, Ritual Dyes. Is it Ritual Dyes? I think it is. Espastrico put a post up that they got some in, so me and my friend Michelle were immediately like, buy. She get the blue one, I get the black. I was so close to getting the cream one, and I'm so glad I didn't because I just throw things on the ground a lot, like my knitter's bags and stuff. So, all right, here is my latest whip. I'm doing the Andrea Mowry Sheltered, and it's like a short sleeve poncho. Let me find a better picture, with like a cowl neck and hood. And I've had this pattern on hand for a while. Like last fall when we went to Knit East in St. Andrews, I bought the yarn for it. So I've had this on my to-do list for a while, and what I ended up deciding to do it in is the Briggs & Little Regal in this gray. I've never knit with Briggs & Little before, which is ridiculous because this is like our local mill. I think I always envisioned it as, look how rustic it is. It's got like pieces of hay and everything in it. I always envisioned it more as like a man's work sock, hat kind of. I don't know. I never realized how amazing it was. Like I love Brooklyn tweed, but I think this is my next favorite for sure, or right up there as a favorite for structure. And I like a rougher wool, but as I got knitting with it, it's actually not that rough. It really softens up. So what I have done so far, you knit it in 2 pieces. So the first piece I knit is the back, and I'm doing the size large. And this is the coolest knit. Like, she does a lot of faux seams. So this seam right here is going all the way down the back, and then this is across the back. And when you're done knitting it, you put this edge on it. And so right now I'm working on the front part of it, and I'm getting there. I'm almost done the front. I just have to do the edge and then the hood. So I love it. I'm gonna wear this so much. I love gray and I love ponchos, but this is gonna be so cozy. Anyway, as you knit this wool up, it softens up, so I can't imagine how nice it's gonna be after I block it. I'm guessing it's really gonna bloom and soften up. So it's an easy knit. It's super easy. It's a ton of knitting, but it's like the mindless knitting that you can do in front of the TV or have in your bag ready to go. So my little knitting jewelry, my Sucra miniatures little donut. I got this one for myself, and I got Leslie Jane, my friend, the black bean burrito for her birthday because she's a big Mexican food fan. So Sucra miniatures, you should check them out. They're super cute. So that is one work in progress. I've got a mess going on here. My next work in progress, see, bag problem. I love this. It's the Jen Hewitt limited edition for the Fringe Supply Company. Anyway, I love it. Looks like yarn just kind of going down it. And I'm definitely getting into the whole enamel wear, or the enamel pin. Sleeve Island, Sip Knit, or is it knit? Yeah, Sip Knit. Yarn Bomb, places you can knit. So I've made this before and I've shown you it as well. It's the Trimont Snood, and I made it in gray last time. But because I'm a copycat and I adore Melissa and Lisa from Espastrico, that's like my favorite podcast. You have to watch it. But be ready to have your credit card handy because you're going to want to go order stuff. It's dangerous. Melissa knit one out of the Julie Asselin, the Lizu DK, the colorway Romance, and it is this gorgeous. Oh, like her yarn is amazing. I did buy some at when we went to Toronto to the Knitting Frolic, and I got some gray, like really fine gray. But anyway, isn't this beautiful? So it's like this really pale lavender color, and so I have just started it, and what stopped me are these needles. It's the stinky ones that I call. So I had to go out and buy new ones. The regular. See, these ones are the goldy color. The silver ones, the Addies, don't stink. I don't know. So these I'll keep on hand for emergencies, but I plan to never use these again. Don't buy them. They smell. They get like a metallic-y smell to them, and I love my yarn and the smells of the yarn, but that smell can really kind of overpower it. So anyway, this is just started. This is gonna happen soon because I want to wear it this fall so badly. And it's a quick knit. It's like that needle is you're working with an 8mm. So it goes by super quick. And I'm going to follow all the modifications that Melissa had on hers. It made it a little bigger, just had a little extra room in it. So mix it up a bit. So I've got that on the go. What else do I have on the go? Look at my list here. Oh! My Paradise Island knit bag. I love this. Patricia and I did a swap for yarn for bag. That was so awesome that she did that. So I started a sock in one of my colorways up Knit Creek. There it is. Look, my needle protectors match. So it's like a tealy colored with like I don't know if you want to call it like a rusty caramel that's in there as well. What I decided to do after watching, which podcast was it? It must have been Legacy Fiber Arts. The Knit Pro Zings. I've never knit with DPNs before. So I went on Amazon and ordered them. They were like $11 and thought I'd give them a try to see if I was going to enjoy sock knitting a little bit more, or if I could avoid the ladder a bit more. The needles I like. Yeah. I guess I don't understand why everybody loves them. Or maybe it's because they're not quite as sharp as I envisioned them to be. I mean, they are sharp, but they have kind of a blunt end on them, maybe a bit. Anyway, I don't prefer DPNs over Magic Loop at all, and I still actually, can you hear my chimes? I hope so. They sound so pretty. I'm still getting maybe not a bad ladder, but I still can see where I've joined. And I'm really not a huge fan of sock knitting. I know it's people's go-to to have in their purse for when they're traveling or just to have on hand. I think they just take so long, and I think I prefer it. And that's crazy. I knit sweaters so much faster, and I enjoy sweaters so much more than socks. But I really do want to have more homemade socks in my wardrobe. So I'm going to commit to this sock and get it done because I have a ton of one socks, and that's going to stop. So the Knit Pro Zings, I mean, yeah, I guess if you're a big DPN fan, you want to try something different, they're okay. They're not bad. There's nothing I disliked about them. I guess I have nothing to compare it to. And if anything, maybe I like a sharper needle. So I have that. And oh, okay, so this is a Get a Grip Amanda purchase. I was watching, again, my favorite podcast, Espastrico, and they were talking about their European shawl kits that they have. They're wonderful. They do up these amazing patterns, and they're all free. Like their patterns are on their blog, on their website, Espastrico. And there's just a bar to hit for their free patterns. Check them out because there's some gorgeous things, and I've definitely knit a few things from them now. But what they did up was for this European road trip shawl, Lisa designed this. They put together some kits. So here it is. It's just a big asymmetrical, I believe, shawl, but you can wrap it around a few times. You can wear it. So I got the kit, and it is Cashmere Linen, and I did it in the lavender. So it's Sylph, Jade Sapphire, exotic fibers, and there's Sylph, and it's beautiful. It's so soft. I've never knit with anything with linen in it before. And this lavender color, I guess I clearly have a thing for purples right now, which is bizarre because I'm such a pinkaholic. But look, between my Trimont snood and my neck shawl, I have some lavender going on in my wardrobe. But I'm so excited to have this. So this is going to be my mindless knit that I'm going to be able to throw in my bag. It's a very simple pattern. It's going to take, you know, a lot of yarn. I'll be doing it on some sharp addies. I've got everything put together in another one of my favorite fringe supply bags, the toffee color. So I have everything organized, ready to start. As soon as I finish this poncho, I'm going to begin this. And because, like I said, I am on a Boylan knit bender. Caitlin Hunter, you rock. You make amazing patterns. This is her newest release. I'm so excited to make this. Look at the fit of that. It's like this positive ease, big cozy. It's called Ingalls. So I dyed the yarn up for this. I struggled because I couldn't, like in her sample, it's like this really pale green, minty green. It's beautiful, and I was thinking, geez, but I won't wear it. I won't wear mint green. I know I won't. So I dyed what I'll wear gray, but I did this really pretty chalkboardy. It's gonna have, you know, it's tonal as well, and it's in DK, so another great sweater. So that's gonna be the body. And then for the color, I did a neon pink, and I think I'm gonna love it. So that'll be for here. I did dye up the mohair because you can strand it with mohair for the color work. I dyed it up, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. I think I just want this together. So anyway, I think it's gonna be super cool. It's gonna be a really pretty sharp contrast for sure with the neon pink. So my two favorite colors, normally I go pale gray or a softer pink, but this is my neurotic way of mixing it up and being different. Not really. Okay, so that's in the near future. So I'm going to do my European road trip shawl and Ingalls sweater. And this is in my Buku beautiful bag. I love this so much. I really think having a bag that you love to put your beautiful knitting in is part of it. It just makes me happy. I love it. I think you can order directly from Buku, which it's Bookhu. She's in Toronto. She has a website. And Espace Co. also carries them. So, but one of my favorite project bags with the leather handles, little leather tie at the top. So I told you I had a lot to show you, and I wasn't lying. So the next weekend is kind of exciting for me. I'm going to be at the Dairytown Makers Market in Sussex, New Brunswick. It's Etsy New Brunswick. All the makers are coming together and having one big marketplace. So I've never done a market before. I've only sold online to my friends, or with Donna at Cricket Cove. That kept me busy this summer. I kept yarn for all 6 stores, did special colorways for each store, and it went over really well. So that kept me so busy. And now what's keeping me busy is dyeing up for this market. So I'm so excited to do this. And I have a feeling I'm going to meet up with people that I've been in contact with a lot online through orders or just Instagram, liking each other's things and commenting. So I'm hoping I meet a lot of people that we've only kind of, you know, telephoned each other, or, you know, texted each other. But I have some new colorways that I'm bringing to the market. So I wanted to show, I won't show everything I've done, but just to be quickly with it and show you some fun things, because I'm really, I get very proud of my product because I've worked hard, and it's been so much fun being creative with the colorways and with the names. And anyway, so I will show you a few things that I have. This is going to be a sock set. Love you to the moon and back. So it's a yellow and white tonal speckled with navy blue. It looks black on the phone, but it is navy blue speckles. And a little contrasting mini. So that one. It's not easy being green. This is a neon green, and when I posted it on Instagram the other day, it got so much positive feedback. I did it for fun because I ordered these neon dyes and I love them. So it's not easy being green. Sweet Sally. It's a natural base speckled with blues. I called it Sweet Sally because that was always my nickname for my little girl, Sarah. Well, she's not little, she's almost 16, but I always called her Sally. And she's got the most beautiful bright blue eyes. And so I named this one after her. Tequila Sunrise, another one of my little neons that I could put to use. So it's this pretty bright coral with like a dark yellow and pink and fuchsia speckles. I don't know if I said the name. Tequila Sunrise. This pleasantly turned out perfect. This is called Corked, and I wanted it to resemble like a red wine stained cork, and it did. So it's got this taupey brown base with like cranberry. On the back you can see it kind of gets purpley and red speckly. So that's called Corked. This one's called the Rusty Nail. So it's a natural base with like some, it looks like rust stains on it. It's mustardy yellow. And then I did a couple of fall inspired colorways. I love this one. It's called The Leaves Are Turning. And she's got so much going on, but I'm really pleased with that. And this one's Oh My Gourd. So it's orange and pale green, and I've got a little bit of orchid going on there as well. And Bohemian Rhapsody. That's a little fun, wild one. And something special that I'm doing, I've showed on my Instagram feed, is I got into mohair. So I'm bringing some. And I did mohair Bohemian Rhapsody. Look at how pretty it turned out. It's crazy how different bases take the yarn. So it is the kid silk mohair, 72% kid mohair, 28% silk. So there's the Bohemian Rhapsody. Wicked. Being Boho. Sweet Sage. I Love You a Latte. And this is my favorite. Rhubarb. It really got a nice true rhubarb pink color. So anyway, so there's some little fun special things. So if you're a local watching, come visit me. I'd love to meet you. I'm gonna bring lots of yarn. I don't know what to expect. Never done this before, so I'm bringing lots. I know I'm gonna be going home with lots probably, but I just wanna be over prepared, and so it could be really successful, it could be a total flop, but if you're a yarny or a knitting nerd, come visit me. I'm gonna have a ton of sock yarn, all these new colorways. And then when I come home, whatever doesn't sell or whatever I feel was like really popular, I'm gonna remake them, post them on my Etsy shop, so stay tuned for that. And I'm due for another giveaway. I just looked, I have over 1,000 followers now, and that just makes me like, I'm completely shocked. I was so excited. I remember calling my mom one night and saying, Mom, I have 80 followers, and I was so excited. Anyway, so I have to do another giveaway. I just did a giveaway. I did a little collaboration. My friend Kate Michaud, who has Rustic Soap Company, she's a local hand soap maker. She does body butters and soaps and a little bit of everything, essential oil roll-ons. She donated some products, and I did a giveaway, and I got to send it to another new friend, Allison, who lives in Ontario. She received it and loved it. So she sent, so I got to send out a giveaway, and that was fun. So I am going to do another giveaway soon to celebrate 1,000 followers. So that's wonderful. So what else? I guess I did want to note that, share something that I did. Another thing I did this summer, I got a tattoo. This is my second tattoo. I have a ring of flowers around my big toe, and I got this. So if you've noticed it, so this is my late husband's handwriting. I mentioned before I'm widowed, but I'm in a very happy, healthy, wonderful relationship now with a guy named Dan. But I lost my husband one day after our 11-year wedding anniversary in a horrible accident. I'm stammering now. This is an uncomfortable conversation, but I'm going to tell it. So on our anniversary card, he was so wonderful about always giving me an anniversary card and flowers. So on the card, this is what he wrote the day before I lost him. So, love, XOXO. And my daughter had said she really wanted to get a tattoo with her dad's handwriting. So the last note that he wrote her, she got love, dad, XOXO, and I got this. And we went and we did it together. We did it on the 7-year anniversary of losing him, which was last July. And anyway, we did it together. It was kind of, I don't know, special, and I always knew I wanted another tattoo. And I love the placement, I love what it means, and yeah. So that happened. And I'm all about doing things in threes. I don't know why. So I have 2 tattoos now, so there will be a third coming. Yeah, anyway, I did, last night I put on my Instagram feed how I was going to podcast today, and to, just to kind of mix it up and have some fun, we could do a question and answer. So I got the same question from 2 people, so we'll answer that together. So Aaron and Carrie both asked why I started dyeing, or what got me into trying to dye yarns. When I first started knitting, I guess I crocheted a lot, but with Michael's yarn or Walmart yarn. It always had acrylic in it. It was never like pricey yarn for blankets, just to give away to people. And then when my friend Michelle really got me back into my love for knitting, I started to go to Cricket Cove and pick up yarns, and I was getting into Cascade and doing all of that. Like, you know, it was pricier yarn, but not super expensive. Then I got the Jag and Garter Stitch, a Stephen West shawl, a big wrap, and I don't know if I've shown it before, but I will show it again sometime. But I wanted to do it in some funky colors, because he's all about like the bomb of like a neon, or just his patterns always are really fun and have some kind of special color going on. So I wanted to do it in pricier yarns and have that pop. So I went into Cricket Cove and bought all of the yarn for it, and that is really where I started looking at indie dyed yarn, and especially hedgehog fibers. I was completely in amazement, opening the skein and looking at the speckles, and I just thought it was beautiful. And I've always been creative, kind of artsy fartsy. So that is really what happened. I thought, I want to try this. And I never really thought I would take it to the level of making it in these mass orders and selling it to, you know, my local yarn stores. The Etsy it's been going well also. So I didn't know I would kind of get to this point of it making it a true little business. I just was going to experiment. So I started going on YouTube videos and understanding what you needed, and I ordered from a few different suppliers and just played, and then found a favorite base and found some favorite colors and started mixing colors. And honestly, that's just kind of how it started. So that's that. And Carrie also asked some of my favorite commercial yarns and my favorite indie dyer. So, I should have brought it out. I am loving Kelly Boyce's yarn. Like, she does beautiful, and I've showed it on a podcast, the stained glass. Check her out. I love her indie dyed yarn. I love lichen and lace. Gorgeous, gorgeous colorways. My gosh, there's quite a few I think I love. Like, lichen and lace is up there. I mean, hedgehog, who doesn't love hedgehog? And long dog yarns. Yeah, those are good ones. She uses really good colors, like fun, bright, bold. And as for commercial yarns, I'd have to say I really don't use a lot, but probably something simple from Michaels or Cascade. They're always like kind of good go-tos. So Wendy asked my family favorite for knitted gifts. I have done shawls and socks for my mom, and she's gotten some sweaters as well. Socks, I would say, like, my kids don't want anything. They will. They're 17 and almost 16, so they'll be bugging me someday. But right now, they don't have any interest in having anything knitted from me. I did a hat for my daughter, and I am going to do a sweater for her eventually. But yeah, I think just the simple things like hats and socks, people seem to really like to get those. I'm a selfish knitter. It's because there's so many patterns I want to try, and I don't like knitting the same thing twice, so if I knit it once and love it, I keep it. And Wendy was asking my favorite hat pattern. That would be the beanie hat. I love it. It's just easy, and it's a fingering weight. You can make the cuff as long or as short as you want. You can make the body as long as or as short as you want. I put a fake fur pom-pom on mine, and it looks super cute, or the one I gave to Sarah. Yeah, but I haven't done a lot of hats, so yeah, check out the beanie hat. And it's free on Ravelry. Okay, Mioka, my fiber share friend, was wondering my go-to needles. I own a ton of Addies. I love Addies. I love the quality of them. In the past year, I've discovered the Haya Sharps, which I absolutely love, the quality. And I'm using them because they're that much sharper and they're half the price. So if you come across Hayas, like, grab them. Seriously, it's like they're $11. And Good Vibrations in St. John on Germain Street, she carries Hayas, and her prices are perfect. So I'd have to say Haya is my #1 favorite if you like a really sharp needle. And then of course the Addies, and then the Lykke, Lykke. I like those too. They're driftwood, and they're beautiful. So those would be my three favorites. And Miyoko was wondering where I order my yarn from. Lately it's been strictly Espastrico. It's been my go-to. I'm trying to knit more with my own yarns because I truly like them, but I guess, you get bored at looking at your own stuff. So when I watch an Espastrico podcast, I get inspired, and they're smart that way. Like, they show what patterns look like in certain yarns, and yeah, so I would say Espastrico, and then of course Cricket Cove. Cricket Cove carries a huge assortment of yarns, all beautiful yarns, everything you could want. So that's nice. We're lucky. We have we have that in Fredericton, and then there's one in Moncton, St. John, St. Andrews, Black's Harbor. But wherever I go, I always pop into that local yarn store and check out what's there. But Mioka, yeah, Cricket Cove doesn't do online. They really should. But yeah, I guess that's it. So that was fun. Anyway, I could do that again, for sure. I watched Sandy by the Lakeside the other day, and she kind of decided to add this to her podcast, and I really enjoyed it, so I thought I'd do the same. Is talk about a couple of products I like. Not so much beauty products, but just products that I really, really like. So this is one of my and if you look at my hands, they are a mess because I've been dyeing non-stop, and your hands are in water all the time, so they get so dry. My cuticles are all peely, and I had to cut my nails quite short because when you get dye underneath there. Anyway, my hands are a mess. But this is the best cream. So I put it on every morning, every night before I go to bed. It's Kiehl's, the Ultimate Strength Hand Salve. And it kind of smells a little medicated, but it works. It's not like a fancy smelling. Anyway, all day care for severely dried active hands. Yeah, so I recommend that. And then this, I love this. I've talked about it before. This is what Kate had donated for my giveaway. It's the Rustic body butter in the Happy Hippie, which that's the name that inspired my yarn. And it is a body butter that's, oh my gosh, it smells so good and clean. You just need a little bit. Like I always just take a little tiny bit and just rub it, warm it up, and then it just spreads. And I keep a lot of this kind of stuff in project bags as well. Your hands get dry, but it's a really soft, subtle patchouli and lavender smell. And oh my gosh, it smells so good. It's very faint. It's not overpowering, and it is the nicest body butter. It's vegan. It's not greasy. And it's the perfect travel size. Like I love having this just in my bag or traveling with it. It just doesn't take up much room, and anyway, it smells lovely. So I think I've covered everything I wanted to talk about, which was a lot. So sorry if this is long. Yeah, it's 50 minutes. This is one of the longer ones. I'm gonna keep back into the swing of podcasting because I do enjoy doing it. Give me some feedback. If there's anything I talked about too quickly, I know I'm trying to get through this quick because I had a lot to show and share. I hope the sound quality is okay out in my backyard. But yeah, that's it. So give me a message if you wanted any more information on anything I spoke about, or if I missed something. Yeah, I guess that's it. And if you're around in a local, come to the Etsy market next Saturday in Sussex, New Brunswick, and pop by and come say hi to me. So I think that's it, guys. I have nothing else to talk about. My neighbor's been out on her back deck, sitting there reading, and I probably thinking I lost my mind. Oh well, probably have. Okay, happy Sunday, everybody. Happy knitting. And I will see you again in a week or two, I promise. Bye.